fact that Tom's intro just says bald in really big letters. Oh, you know, as a bald man, I totally respect that. So here we go, jumping into the very first game here of the WePlay Valorant Invitational. It's going to be NiP starting here on the defense and ForZe on the attack.
Yeah, going to be very important for ForZe here to really prove that they deserve to be among some of the 6 invited teams. And for NiP, it does feel like it's just going to be another day at the office. You know, for them, this roster has had great success in varying ways, different members being a part of different teams. Of course, Lucker being a part of Valorant at some point. Hip, of course, him and his roster coming over to NiP. Of course, Ryan put on some good numbers. But already it's a push in towards the B site. To try to retake that spike.
Quick plant coming out here from the attack. You've got the first kill coming in here as Kriya is going to pick one off. Coming through the backside of the window towards mid. Again, this Suede bug, unfortunate, but it's not Suede versus Suede with all Phantoms. It's something that the devs are currently working on. Smart 7 dropped as well by Kriya. Kriya's going to find one more. A dink shot coming out onto Zeddy. Zeddy actually, though, going ham here with the classic, but at this point, it will be NiP taking the pistol despite the molly on the spike trying to delay.
So one of the things to note, especially if you are new to Valorant, because there's no telling, you know, when it comes to dwindle down those odds, and it's for ForZe now, the pistol, they don't have the economy to buy rifles, and so you may see a little bit of a rush. They're already starting to look towards that A side, and in a round like this, there's almost no reason to be quite silent. You want to try to push in and maybe take away some weapons from the opposition. But so far, so slow for them, and it did look like Coffee, he's got himself a spec.
Rhyme using that camera currently on the A site, spying to see what's coming through. A couple of smokes coming down from the brim. It does look like we're going to see that push come through. There's the tremor coming out from the breach. Hip getting sprayed at a little bit through the smoke. Counter tremor coming out as well from the opposition, but they don't decide to push off this. Despite that early utility use, they're going to be backing off towards short a little bit more, potentially going for even a recommit. The wall was used, as well as some of those breach skills, so it's interesting to see. There's the charge coming in that'll flush him out of position. Lucker hiding inside the flames from Coffee, able to survive long enough to take him out. There's the pistol work coming in from the brim to take down Hip. But we're at a 3-on-3 currently. Kriya, as he goes down, brings us to that point.
Yeah, you know, for a round like this, they're making it very competitive. Lucker had the operator in his hands, but could not make it sing. A great round for a thrifty round at that. They didn't really have
station, along with Fish 1, 2, 3 as the top 4 for this event.
Oh, nice little dual peek there. Not able to land the shot there for Lucker. Tries to send another one in, but it looks like the orb control will go over the side of ForZe. The other orb, of course, uncontested. Ryan playing quite far back on that A side, and that's sometimes what you got to do when you are playing that anchor role. Kriya already in the courtyard. Doesn't see anyone there quite yet. On the opposite side, it is the Sage player, Smart 7. Coffee going to lead his team towards the sewers. Kriya just trying to find some early picks, and they've quite split up here on the side of ForZe. He won't find anyone for quite a while, but already this aggressive push forward might net him a frag. Unfortunately, going to be the rotate around here for Impala. They'll get that red carpet rolled out, trying to stop this push towards the A side. Kriya manages to find himself behind enemy lines, and a quick kill will be great here for NiP.
Unfortunately, Kriya gambled the wrong direction. So Kriya actually went towards the A site, fakes the ult though, goes for the intel ult, and actually drops one more from inside the window. So a great move coming in, but he had ulted over towards the A site. There was only 2 players going there. It was a solid fake coming in from ForZe, but it didn't pan out well on the numbers. The players falling on both C and A, so they lost one on each side of that fake. That's why you've got the Phoenix coming in with the backstab through the B site. There's the ult coming in, the orbital strike, to try and section them off and try and prevent that defuse from coming through. And oh, Coffee's got the god tier flank. All he has to do is get there in time. He's having a hard time getting into the site, and it's a little bit too late. So the spike will be defused here as the wall comes in. Kriya gonna find 4 on the round with just 8.
Map it is, but great use from the wall there. And that'll, I mean, that won't net them the round. That won't be the deciding factor, but it was a great way to stop any further attempt from the Brimstone operator here. Gonna land it onto Impala. And I believe that is their own operator down in play. Not quite sure by that gun skin at the distance. The other members are held up in the cubby, and Lucker, he knows this.
Hip waiting right around the corner. There's a Phoenix already on this B site. Timing gonna work out nicely for Coffee. Hip did not anticipate this player already being all the way up on B. Lucker tries to go aggro down C long. Doesn't work out so well for him either. They've completely lost the C site. This should be a save coming in from the remaining two players. You've got Furoth here with the Owl drone, but they've lost so much site control and his teammate is so far away. It is only a 2-on-3. But it's going to be a difficult retake. Nice shock dart coming in, spam coming out. They know where Furoth's at based on the Owl drone, and you can already see him backing off a bit, realizing that this is going to be a difficult take. Rhyme coming through on the flank over towards Long. Nice shot coming out. Despite taking down the tripwire, the Sage caught off guard. The wall is down on Garage. Furoth almost gets the timing right to gun down one while spraying through that ice. Shock dart going out high into the sky. Recon dart is there as well. The Recon giving away the position of the remaining two. It's down to a one-on-one though. It's Zeddy versus Furoth. Furoth can't really do much as the Molly is down on the spike. Breach charge coming through as well. The one-on-one gonna go the way of Zeddy. ForZe continue to put up rounds here on the attack.
Quite close there. We now start to come in being quite difficult for them. Sheriffs, and potentially some ghosts across the board. Might be a little bit of an expensive round as already two members have fallen from the side of ForZe. Let's see if this translates to a win from him.
Nice start to the round for NiP. Kriya on long. Oh, the timing is going to get the best of him. No, never mind. Kriya somehow beats Zeddy in the one-on-one exchange. Additional damage dealt to the Sova as well. Has to be careful as the flash comes out. Paranoia so powerful, but at the same point in time took some additional damage on the peak. Kriya now wants to challenge that Sage as the heal comes through from his own Sage, putting him back on full HP, and you can see why Kriya God tier currently as he gets the 4K on the
read here to see, okay, will ForZe push through mid? We've seen the C push time and time again. Looks like it might be something a little different, and so let's adapt and let's get some of that utility towards the court.
Furoth leads the charge with the Owl drone. Kriya, no surprise there, getting aggressive with the port, getting up on top of the box. Furoth gonna get two on the round. The round's falling apart quite quickly here for ForZe. The remaining two members, the Sage and the Cypher, trying to scramble it back together. There will be a kill coming out on Kriya, who again was overextending that position behind that box, wanting to take more of a battle. A res coming in from Smart 7, bringing the Phoenix back into play. Impala's actually going to pick off one more. This has turned around quite nicely. The neural theft going out from Impala to give away positions of the remaining members. Seeing now that there's basically one on each side of the map means that they kind of have carte blanche. Wherever they decide to go, they're going to have a 3-on-1.
It will beat the A site, pushing towards the sewers, the name of the game. Run it back gives us the audio cue that we need. Coffee can be leading that charge, and it's the early peak that does not go the way for Furoth, but Hip, he's going to be waiting on the other side. That's going to be one, does not find the second. It is a clone that dissipates all down to Furoth and Lucker here. One is going to be good, but the other will not. Lucker now, the Sheriff in a dream. Kriya as well will actually follow suit. That spike going down in a place that I've not seen it often planted. Coffee will find that frag onto Lucker, and fortunately for Kriya, he's got a tall task ahead of him. Two down long, and they're peeking together. Shot's good from Coffee.
Then it becomes a 3-on-3 as their Cypher just went kind of nuts and picked up multiple kills on the round. And then it's a 2-on-2 post plan. The round just did not go the way it should have. Now the Cyber Cage is going to go down on long. Hip is right around the corner. An aggressive play, absolutely punished. But look at what Kriya is doing, lurking on the back lines. There's the first one coming in for the Omen, but only one somehow. Just couldn't quite get the positioning or the timing right. It will at least be Furoth who spots one on the cross with the operator. Smart 7, the Sage, sent away for the remainder of the round. So it's back to a 3-on-3. Numbers are even, but an awkward set of exchanges early on in the round.
You know, ForZe's win condition here is to get that spike down at all possible costs. You know, they have the orbital strike, they have the Molotov to make it a very difficult defuse. So they just need to get that spike down. Unfortunately, the A site will not be where they should head on over. So they're still a little undecided. Of course, there's a lot of bodies on the floor. They don't want to give the weapons potentially back over towards the defense. And so kind of sticking around, getting a little bit more information before they decide to journey on over towards the B side. And to be quite honest, that's probably their best bet right now. You set up a good spike plan, and then it's very difficult for the opposition to defuse. So we're already seeing the smokes come through. That'll stop the sight line from the operator, but you don't need a sight line when you're ForZe. Shot through the smoke, manages to find itself on the coffee. One more for the money on Lucker. It's all down to Polian now as that spike jetlining towards the C side. Has to get a face full of tripwire before he makes his way over, but he's got 80 seconds left, and now here comes NiP for the retake.
Yeah, goes for the deady on the spike plan as well. Pretty much had to, couldn't pull off at that point. ForZe pops the Hunter's Fury. Good call, taking down the spike just after he plants it. He takes down that spike planter. So a round coming in for NiP towards the tail end of this first half, giving them that one-round advantage. Team can buy, so that's okay, but you wonder, what are the abilities looking like currently coming in for the attack?
At the end of the day, this is the last round. Of course, the Jiggle Peak's not going to work out here for Polian. Now, as they set up the utility, they need to deal with Kriya, and they will do so. It is, of course, the Breach player that gets taken down a little bit. Heal going to come out from the stage. Coffee pushed up aggressively towards the garage, ready for the flank from the rest of the team down long. It's going to be the curveball as Rhyme is able to escape. The red carpet's rolled out for the team as they'll now start to make their way through the slow orb, but they have a fault line of their own. Coffee is going to find one. He's going to find two. All pushing through the garage. This looked like NiP was able to try to get this round back into their favor, but now it's just down to ForZe. He finds the frag on Tupala, still the 1v2, very doable here for him. Slow Orb going to slow down the push forward towards the site. It's run it back now. Used by Coffee. The wall as well, the curveball. ForZe in a very difficult spot. Manages to land the shot now. Going to be jumping up the flat. Doesn't know that Smart 7's around the corner.
But tied up 6-6 coming into this second half. Surprising strong performance coming out from ForZe against NiP. We'll see if they can do just as well on the defense as NiP moves on over to the attack.
One of the things I'm super excited about when it comes to NiP, we haven't really talked too much about their agent selection, is that they've got double flash. I mean, of course, so does ForZe, but they've got Omen and they have Breach, which I think is probably a better combination than the opposite with Phoenix and Breach themselves. Omen, of course, has smokes, and so they actually have to have a Brimstone in order to have those smokes. And Paula trying to find that flank from behind, but they'll still have control of that C-side. Paranoia not going to land on Smart 7, and as a result, he will try to punish ForZe, but instead will get taken down with his life instead. Coffee, the last one standing. They'll get that spike down. A great round here for NiP. So far, no one's untouched.
There's the fight coming out as well towards the end. Kriya's gonna...
Looks like a setup towards C once again, but it could be a fake as the rest of the team is kind of a little bit more spread out. But a standard garage push seems to be a standard push on attack. We'll see if that's going to end up being the case here for NiP on round number 3 of the second half.
Coffee on top of the big box over in B. Spots them out initially. They used the Sage wall to boost on the backside of the box, which allowed him to get up there. The Sage was here as well, playing that headshot angle. That means that this B-side defense could be a whole lot weaker now as a result, because they're not going to have that wall to try and slow things down. There's the flash coming in from Breach. Blinds the Owl drone, but the dart's been delivered. Hip in that one-on-one against Coffee, going to win the battle. Smart 7 across the map, taking down Lucker. Rhyme's going to peek, and the trade comes through for the attack. Kriya's backside sight. Nice paranoia, but it doesn't make a difference as the blind kill comes through from Zeddy. Rhyme again there with another one on that A site, or the B side, excuse me. And as a result, the A site is now open. Taking that kill towards the A side connector will give them the ability to plant that spike over on the A bomb site. You've got the Brim flanking through mid, and the Breach all the way back in spawn. High shock darts coming out here from ForZe.
Yeah, very interesting to see their plants not go towards the side of default where you have the ability to play long. We've seen that plant not once, but this is the second time now. Zeddy and Kolyan now having to have the duty of pushing forward. It's going to be unfortunate for Rhyme as I think he switches the camera there. The shock darts now starting to come down from the sky. And it's just going to be ForZe that win the gun round. And quite honestly, a very important round for them to win. If NiP were able to kind of win this one over and find their way. Once we got to that attacker side, NiP, I feel like, really have started to come alive. Of course, yes, ForZe were able to win one round, but NiP have really just been able to win everyone after that. And so an early push towards A, Impala will pay with his life, and that A site is completely undefended. We'll see how NiP starts pushing Coffee with the early rotate, but the neural theft will spot him out early. Still going to force him way into position and try to defend from this push forward. It's the hot hands that'll stop that push there. Peek around the corner onto Rhyme will go his way. Now run it back to make things just even more expensive. The slow orb is good. Shot onto Kriya. And Coffee defending this site with his life.
That was absolutely insane. The quick shot coming out from the Phoenix. The ult being popped as well. The orbital strike. That allows them to escape. Even though that was a defensive ult. So that could have been the Phoenix continuing to punish, taking down that player on the res. Bit of a mistake there made by ForZe. The early mistake was that peek coming in from the Cypher off the cam shot. Wasn't prepared for the amount of targets waiting around the corner, just got overwhelmed. So that early operator purchase for ForZe doesn't work out so well. They've managed to turn things around because of Coffee's ult. He picked up 2, but the res came in from the Sage. Smart 7 waiting right around the corner. Might get the timing right. First one, second one, make it 3 on the round for Smart 7. Kriya's the only one left standing as he ports up into his own smoke. The dark cover on top of the boxes. With 16 seconds left, has to go back to try and gather up the spike. Goes for a port, might try to fake them out just a bit with just 7 seconds left. Starts to push forward. 1 kill for him on.
Will show us what they're made of on that map. They did so against G2 in the Vitality Open. So we'll see how this map ends up finishing up. Zeddy having an angle here with the operator. The jiggle peek is not going to go his way. He is not able to land that shot. Lucker, though, will find him instead, and they'll just open their way onto that C site. Down to 3 now. Still Impala holding down that A site in case anyone gets an early rotate. Coffee's already down. Smart 7's already down. And this looks like a round for the books for NiP.
Yeah, and this should be a punishing economic round as well for ForZe. Yet again, that operator does not net them success early on. The same thing happened on the A site last round, except they were able to turn things around because of the run it back ult that was popped by the Phoenix. But here we see them again take that early fight, and Lucker just so strong with the operator, getting 2 kills on the opening. Fearoth finding 2 more, securing the site completely. The last remaining player, Impala, all the way over on the A site, just trying to save that gun. Now, it doesn't look like NiP has any desire to go for the hunt as a result of the last round being a little bit expensive for them as well. So at least that'll guarantee him the time to save that rifle. But it will be number 11 going on the board for NiP. They're just a few rounds. They just don't seem to have a solution for Lucker on the attack, and that's been a big problem for them.
Match point here for NiP. Then they're going to start it with a push towards A, but finally a peek goes well for ForZe Impala. Going to find Lucker, and a crucial frag to find as well. Some of those heals and utility to help in the post plant now gone. The Owl drone now used to scout out some early push through the sewers, but it's quickly dealt with until that push is halted. Coffee going to be the first line of attack, the first contact point on the site. It does look like NiP are going to start to double back. They've got agents a little bit spread out towards the attacker halls. Kriya and Fearoth now starting to work their way towards the C site. With that ult orb picked up, I believe Kriya already had his ultimate available. I think it is now Fearoth that joins him with the Hunter's Fury. We'll see if it ends up used in this potential final round.
Fearoth sending that recon dart towards the C site. There's 2 players there. It's the Brim and the Breach, but they might be actually in front of this one. Kriya just wants to peek. Can't blame him. Kriya's made that play so many times. Fearoth and Rhyme both getting kills on the round, as it looks like they're going to send that spike over towards the A site. Surprise, surprise. Yeah, they had presence towards C, but the A site now realizing it's clear, they'll go ahead and stick that spike. It's going to be a 3-on-3. The Cypher ult is available, the Neural Theft, and on the opposite side, they've got the Hunter's Fury. So if they can mark that spike, they can just send some pulses downrange. They do have the Breach on site. The Cypher trying to use that camera to spot them as they come through. I like that move. That allows Hip to get into the close corner. Flashpoint coming through from the Breach. Impala will find the first. The spray down not going to work out so well, and it's all up to Fearoth as the Sova. The The shock dart coming through. Recon dart coming out as well. Trying to take that initial battle. Now it's down to a one-on-one. The spike being stuck. No, never mind. He pulls off. He knows he's got the Hunter's Fury. Wants to back off from the fight. Goes for the repeat towards the site. The spike again tapped. And there's the shot coming in from Fearoth. 3 on the round for the Sova as they pick things up 13. He's British, but he moved to France at like the age of 3. The British players still try to claim him, but I don't know if it really counts.
Okay, so you're on my side is what you're saying.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, all right, cool. I can respect that. Okay, so Bind is the map. NiP gonna kick us off here on attack, and it's going to be ForZe who kick us off on the defense. Now, something to note is that Bind is one of the more even maps when it comes to attacker-sided and defender-sided. I think it's like 51%, 49, which is quite close towards the attack. Already a trade of kills, though, as that site is going to be taken here for NiP. They'll get that spike now, but now here comes the retake. Rhyme going to find one on Koyan, and now Zeddy just trying to poke his head through the vents, make sure that he gets some of these refrag.
Again, the pistol round bug shows Suede versus Suede with Phantoms. No one's got Phantoms. It is just a glitch. It's going to be fixed. It's the name of a developer from Riot. Apparently, the game reverts to that state at some point. Zeddy going to get one. Fearoth trades out. Zeddy finds another before being taken down. It's all up to Impala, the Cypher. And look at the damage dealt to Kriya, who's just playing this one so patiently, waiting around the corner as the Omen. The dart's going to be sent straight into his belly. Impala takes down Kriya, but has not gotten the spike to halfway. Recon dart coming out. Now he gets the spike to halfway. Peek comes through, 10 HP, not much can be done. 3 kills on the round for Fearoth.
Playing together in some of the previous G2 invitationals and some of the brawls where they had put pieces of varying members together at different points. And so far, of course, they are the kings of the throne. For them, they need to maintain that throne. Coffee, an early look towards the portal, will find himself a frag, but it's the B site that is lost completely by the defense. Now we are seeing the early rotate back to the spawn. But already I like this adaptation from NiP, trying to get some early sight lines in towards that defender spawn, but it's the connector play from the defense. They'll now start to funnel in. Coffee's going to find one. They still have pistols here on the side of NiP, so maybe not the most ideal weaponry for some, but they now start to funnel through. The Boombot going to try to find a couple of those members lurking through the elbow. They'll be finding nothing so far. Kriya gonna find one. He's gonna find 2. Still looking for one more behind the tuna can. Backing up in towards Labs. Fira will get that refrag towards elbow. And now it is looking real tough. A great plant here. Now down to the 1v1 Fearoth. Has to pick himself up a Spectre. A couple of those shots, but he's looking in the incorrect angle. And it's the defuse from Goliath.
Once NiP started chaining a few together, they just became unstoppable. So the fear right now, if you're ForZe, is that you allow them to, again, do that. So by winning that round right there, they kind of prevent that at least early on. Good work from ForZe coming in early. We'll see how it is that NiP reacts.
Usually when you win the pistol, I like to make up a stat saying that 80% of the time that you win the pistol, you win the round. But I'm actually sure that there's probably a stat somewhere out there. I just need to go out and find it. Kriya gonna find one early onto Impala, and he's got himself a Vandal. Not something I anticipate on a round by, especially one after that they lost. So likely the investment for him. A spray here from Zeddy. Don't think he's gonna tag anyone though, but it's quite the take here from NiP as ForZe looking to try to get this retake back into their favor. The swing around the corner, not going to bode well here for Hip as he'll get taken out eventually by Koyan. Coffee as well with the rotate. That spike is down, but it is now NiP that are starting to struggle. They'll get picked off one at a time. Orbital Strike, the last ultimate use here. Now it's down to Lucker. He's going to find one. He's going to find 2. Cannot find the 3rd. And ForZe another round back on the board.
Surviving with 2 as well, because of how the money stacks up, because you're coming into it usually with SMGs, maybe some Bulldogs. So a lot of teams have actually opted to continue with the Ghost in that second round, which has also created more second round conversions for teams because they come in with just pistols and a little bit of armor, favoring the skills. Now that cam spot is going to give away pretty much the entire play, and Paul is already calling it. I don't think they realized the cam came out because they didn't shoot it. Or did they? It's hard to... No, they did. They did take it out.
They did. Yeah,
I couldn't tell. I couldn't hear it on my end. But, yeah, they did take out the camera. So he knew they were coming, and they rotate a bunch of extra power over, bringing that Phoenix in. But the rest of the players sticking on A, maybe anticipating a full-blown port strat towards the A site.
You know, to touch on your earlier point, it is something that I've seen a little bit more in Europe than in A. I know, of course, we've got a lot of experience casting some of the NA events, specifically the Ignition series. They'll usually force up on the second, but it's pistols for Europe, usually trying to save up towards that op. Looking towards the actual play that is happening before us, it's a quick trade of kills down to the 4v4. B site has been taking, the spike has been planted. Now it is up to defense. Get that retake cooking. Two going to be coming in from Hookah. The other two already playing towards labs. It's the elbow push from NiP, just trying to scout out information. There is an op on the other side, though, and so early peek's not going to go. Lucker going to find one. Smart 7 there, trying to find a refrag, but it's actually the refrag on the site. Wall going to be used, but Lucker, he's got his own ideas as well. The boost is good, but he's empty on the clip. Had to defuse. Now here, as they'll find the frags they need. Zeddy here with the rolling red carpet, trying to find that last and final member. Fearoth, though, he's making it very difficult. Diffuse needs to start to come through here for Polian. It's the third one now after, and it's Fearoth. What a crazy round. And NiP
kind of awkward at times. The same with the defense, though. You can see them gun juggling a bit, so they do have to go with the operator and the light armor. The defensive side, it's way worse for them. So, you know, whoever wins this round is going to really break the back of their opponent's economy. We'll see what ends up happening. You have the run it back ult popped pretty much right off the bat. Charging through the portal over on C to flank through showers. Doesn't really get any intel off that. The only intel he gets is that there's no one there, so they're likely to be grouping up towards mid and towards Hookah, and that's exactly what's currently going on. You've got one currently long C, that's the Sage at distance. That's likely Lucker with the operator backing off as the flash comes through from the curveball. One spotted in the back of sight, that's the recon dart, or actually the dart coming out of the Owl drone that gave away the intel. Hip's gonna gun down the breach. Lucker picks off Impala, and they've got themselves a two-man advantage.
Does look like for ForZe, maybe not the most ideal buy, only looking at one perspective. So it is going to be a pretty good buy for them. But like you said, the economy really going to start to falter here for ForZe if this round goes over to NiP. Early rotates over towards the A site. Will be the Sage player starting to have a look in and see if anyone has already made their way in. Smart 7's going to be dealt with a full force of NiP. Smoke's already going down. Recon bolt to spot anyone on the site. The spray, though, not going to connect with anyone. They might answer back with a spray of their own. That spike should go down quite easily. Now it is up to ForZe either to save or decide to figure out how are they going to dismantle NiP. But it's looking like just as safe for them as they're huddled on that B site.
So that early surge of rounds coming in from ForZe responded by NiP with a similar surge of rounds. Looking a little bit stronger, though, in those. You can see three players, again, just hunkering down on the B site, looking to hold on to the rifles. NiP going to steal that lead back, make things 3-2. After the A site take produced success. Again, it was early kills, though, towards the B site that kind of put this one in that position. But ForZe will have to find a response in the next round. Credits will stack up kind of interestingly. So Zeddy and Impala, they're going to be in pistol armor, maybe even some stingers. You can see 2,500 credits for Zeddy, 2,400 for him. They figured things out, though, and they made requests to balance out the cash. So 4,800, 4,600, 5,100, 5,500, 4,100. Plenty of credits currently available for NiP after they initially just purchased, but realized a couple players were close to that max money limit of 9K. Coffee playing the crack shot over towards Hookah. You see more presence towards mid and Hookah than we've seen the last couple of rounds coming in from NiP. They've been favoring more towards the A site. The Owl drone going high initially, getting gunned down here by Coffee, and that's exactly why that position can be oh so punishing. The Owl drone gets the intel initially. There's a lot of potential intel for the side of NiP between the Raze bomb bot, between the Owl drone, the recon dart, the cameras coming in from Sentinel, so they can flush that position out quite nicely. That aggressive Hookah play gets totally punished here, and it leaves Breach on the site alone, hoping for some extra support. It's finally coming through from the Sage, but it's taken some time to get there, so Smart 7's not on the site, just playing back towards CT. The nade's going to pour in and do some damage. Heal used a little bit aggressively early on here. Smart 7 was on 90 HP and went for the self-heal. We'll see if that ends up being a problem later in the round.
I like this look from NiP. They use a lot of utility towards B, make them think that it's going to be the push. There's two members there holding down the site. Well, I mean, at this point, you only have a 2-2 split. There's not really much you can do in terms of spilling resources over. But NiP, they're ready for another look towards this A site. Well, really the only look this round. Earlier on, we did see ForZe. They pushed 3 towards showers, likely got that ult orb, but really at what cost? Lost a lot of ground towards B, but they're gaining a lot of ground on the site. That spike needs to go down, and NiP's indecisiveness might cost them. 5 seconds left to plant. They need to get on the site. Coffee knows this, finds one. Korea with the refrag, but they don't have enough time to plant, and ForZe.
Up in play from both sides. It's going to be in the hands of Impala. Now, we watched on Haven how multiple times we saw some early peaks coming in from the operator, and it didn't work out well. We saw it on long A on Haven. We saw it on long C as well, where Lucker was able to consistently punish. There's the Owl drone leading the way. The run it back has been popped here for ForZe. Nice blind coming out. The paranoia giving away that position is the bomb buddy. They've gotten up onto this A site. Rhyme is going to drop the brim. But there's still 2 here. The Sage and the Cypher pushed into showers. Now the wall is going to go down to try and guarantee the spike plant. Like this aggressive wall placement coming in from Smart 7 costs him a lot of HP to win that initial fight, and the res comes in anyway. Great utility use coming in from the attack.
Yeah, they made it quite chaotic when they pushed on towards the site, and they'll just find pick after pick. And that's really all they need to try to stop the defusal. All down to one final player. It is, of course, Zeddy. He's going to find one, but too many angles.
Who do they think they are?
They debated it. They're not actually doing it. They did for a second. You could see it come out, but they decided not to. Here comes that aggressive peek again, and Impala gets flushed out of position after some early damage was dealt. He did actually hit that leg shot onto the Raze, dropping him low on HP. Zeddy has picked off one as well, so a promising start to the round for ForZe. But we've seen them get off to a great start in rounds already in this first half, where it's been spun around and it's been NiP who has managed to pick up the round win. To be fair, same could be said in the other direction. Zeddy, continuing to play aggressively on this A site, has found one more and has given ForZe a promising start, one of the more promising starts we've seen in the last 5 or 6 rounds for them, to potentially cap things off with a 4th round here at the end of the first half. Zeddy still in position over towards U-Haul. Smart 7 jump peeking just to spot the showers push. And they've got support from the Brim up in heaven as well, but with only a rifle. No operator picked up here. There's the intel coming in from the Omen ult. More ults being popped. Nice nade coming down onto Zeddy. But it's a 4-on-2 here, as it's going to be Kriya and Fearoth trying to bring this round back to their favor. You've still got to contend with Smart 7.
Yep. Shot's good. Swings around the corner. And that's going to be good for Smart. I feel like if it, in terms of the economy, they'll likely have some credits to spend now, and so playing a little bit more towards that standard setup, 3 towards B and 2 towards A. Waiting for an opportunity for someone to peek, try to get an early pick. Operator here for Lucker. We've seen how devastating it may be, but now that he's been smoked off, he'll likely have to back away. It's Korea that is getting in position. The spray is good. It's 2 headshots onto the opposition, and now backing away. It's that spike that's down as well, so they need to play this a little bit more differently. Keep an eye on that spike and make sure that nobody manages to swoop it up.
Impala waiting for the peak to come through. We saw how strong he played with the Marshall, but he hasn't really much converted that on the operator. As I say that, quick shot coming out straight to the skull of Fearoth the Sova. The traps go down on the site, the cyber cages. That initiates a peek coming in from the Raze. Coffee gonna lay down the hot hands, walking through it to get control of U-Haul, but the spike is all the way across the map by itself. So Breach is going to have to run to get back towards this A site. Looking at the clock, it's going to take up a decent chunk of time just to get into position. So yeah, they've got 2 players up on A, but what happens, what changes in the time it takes to the Breach to get there? He's finally making his way up catwalk, and there's the peak. So Coffee is going to go down on the site. They're going to hear that smoke in just a second, or that spike, excuse me, but there's the popped ult coming in, the showstopper point blank range. Yeah, sure, he goes.
Coming out from them. Unfortunate, of course. NiP have a feeling that they're going to have a great round. It is yet another force up. I didn't think that they would have the credits to buy, but it looks like they do. Of course, the scoreboard would have been able to tell us all that we needed to know, but still, they have the credits to buy. So potentially a good round. They find a pick onto Rhyme. They're still looking for that peek here from Impala. He's going to try to take things out here with the Guardian, but it's not going to bode well for him. Korea going to find one. He's going to find 2. That spike will go down, but at what cost? He lost 2 members towards long. Zeddy in the tuna can, trying to keep things cooking. It's the showstopper that ends up whipping down the distance. Lucker going to take out Zeddy. And now it is all down to Coffee. 8 HP. Hunter's Fury almost going to seal the deal, trying to juke it left and right. Almost walks right back into it. That spray not going to be good.